Hey, welcome everybody to the Upside Down Life. And in this video, I want to talk about how I study the Bible, or at least show you a way that I study the Bible. In the past, I haven't been able to, but with the screen recording on iOS 11, I'm able to do that. So let's get into it. Okay, so let's get into this Bible study. I'm just going to open up this app, Blue Letter Bible, and we're going to get into the study of the word keys. It's a word that keeps coming up before my trip, and I just want to get some more understanding of it, and I want to show you guys how this works. So open up the app, and this is on my iPad Pro, so it might be a little bit different. This is a little bit different on the phone, it might be different on a different iPad, but in the bottom left, you'll see that there are five icons, and I clicked on the one that has the magnifying glass, and it brings up the search. It's the one I use the most. The other ones are useful as well, but so I typed in the word key, and you'll notice I have the search ranges at the whole Bible. You can change that. If I have to get more specific, I usually use Google, or I'll use it if I'm looking for something specifically in the New Testament or specifically in the Old Testament, because with certain words you can get a lot of returns. So let's check out the word key. Okay, so one thing I can tell you for sure, because this is my fourth time making this video, is that the word key in Judges and the word in Isaiah is the exact same word, just like the word in Luke, Revelation, and all the ones in Revelation are the same word. But I'll show you how I figured that out. So I click on Judges 3:25, and it brings up this options to copy it to the clipboard, share the passage, read in a quick view, or open it in a Bible view. I'm going to open it in a Bible view. So it's verse 25. Sometimes it'll pop straight to the verse, sometimes it won't. So if you don't remember, all you have to do is click on search again, click go, and the verse will be right there. It usually saves the word that you're searching, even after you close the app. So after you click on the verse, it brings up all these options, and I'll come through and I'll do a study, or not a study, but an example, a how-to on how to use this app a lot more in depth. But right now I just want to show you this. I'm clicking on interlinear concordance. If you're ever at a Bible bookstore and you see interlinear, what you're getting into is the Greek and the Hebrew. Some of them are just the Greek, some of them are just the Hebrew. There are some that have both in it, and yeah, that's just what this is. So what we're going to do is we're going to look for the word key, and we'll see that down here is the word key. And what's cool about this is you can get the pronunciation, you can get the root word, the strong, so on and so forth. And so all I do is I click on that, and it brings up the Blue Letter Bible Lexicon, and the results, it literally says the results for H4668. And if you were to go into any browser, if you ever had a Strong's Concordance and you look up H4668, you will get this word. Maybe not all this information, but you'll get this word. And so if you look on the left, we can get the transliteration, we can get the pronunciation, the part of speech, the word etymology. And I like the etymology because it gives some depth. It gives what makes up this word, and that can be helpful with some words, because some words can be confusing. And then outline of biblical use kind of gives away that this word is used in the Bible, and we'll see with the other word key that it is used more than one way, and there are a lot of words that are like that, and this is great for understanding why a word is being used and how it's being used in the context that you're reading. So down here, the Strong's definition, this is what I really come here for, and that's down here. And it gives you the etymology one more time, but it says an opener, i.e. a key. It's pretty self-explanatory, but how I know that this and Isaiah are the same, if you scroll down here if you look down here on the bottom, it says concordance results. It says Judges, First Chronicles, and Isaiah. And we know that Isaiah 22:22 was another one of the copies, one of the search results that came up when I searched for the word key. So we know that we don't need to look at that because it's the same word. But let's look at H6605 and see what that says. So it says for word etymology, it's a primitive root. That means that it is the root. There's nothing that it comes from. And now you can see here with biblical usage, it means to open. It also means to carve or to engrave. And it's interesting. So as we scroll down, we can get to the Strong's definition here at the top of the page. And it says to open wide, and that's literally or figuratively, specifically to loosen, plow, carve, and so on and so forth. And going on are different ways that the word is used, from here down are different ways I believe it's used in the Bible. And it's cool because this word has two different meanings, but what you can do is here at the bottom it says Strong's results. So it says it occurs 144 times in 133 verses in the Hebrew concordance of the King James Bible. And so when I find words that are hard to understand, that I really don't understand what they mean as far as just because of the definition of them, I come down here and I'll look for places it's used in the Bible, and it'll give you the context of how it's used. Like this one, it's awesome because here at the bottom it's Joshua 10:22. It says, "Then Joshua said, open the mouth of the cave," which means literally like opening a cave. But two above that, Deuteronomy 28:12 is saying, "The Lord shall open up unto thee his good treasure," which is a much more, spiritual thought. And not that it can't flow into the physical, but you can start to get a deeper understanding of these words, okay? So that's the Hebrew for the word for key. But we're not finished yet, so I'm going to go back down to the bottom and tap the tap the hourglass, the search glass, and I'm going to search again. And I'm going to go to Luke because one thing we know is that, and I'm going to go to Bible View once again, and one thing we know is that the Old Testament was written in, Old Testament is written in Hebrew, New Testament is written in Greek, and they're different. So that's why you need to look at not only the words in the Old Testament, but also look at them in the New Testament, because one is not more right than the other. The reason I open this back up is because I forgot what verse it is, and it's Luke 52. So you can always open that right back up, like I said. And we're just going to click on the verse. We're going to go to the interlinear concordance, and we're going to go to key. I've done this before, and it's pronounced Kleis. Once again, you can click on the pronunciation, which is the little microphone or the little speaker. It'll stop the recording, so I don't want to do that again. I don't want to keep messing this up. But once again, it gives us the same information it gave us in the Hebrew, but obviously now we're in the Greek. And there are actually words in the New Testament that it'll take you back to the Hebrew. Like, if you look up James's name, James is the Greek version of Jacob. So it might give you a little bit on the Greek, but it'll also give you it'll take you back to the H, whatever that might be. And there's also words in the Bible that are from other languages, and it'll tell you, oh, that's a Chaldean word, so on and so forth. But anyway, here we are with the word Kleis. We can see that it's a feminine noun, and there is another word that it comes from. But let's look at this. So Strong's definition says that it's a key as shutting a lock, literally or figuratively, which is opposite of what we saw in the Old Testament, but I don't think that either one is any less right. And here we see the outline of biblical usage, a key. First is, since the keeper of the keys has the power to open and shut. We know that from the Bible. Secondly, it lets us know that a key is a metaphor, and it's a metaphor in the New Testament to denote power and authority of various kinds. And so for what I'm doing this for the study that I'm doing this for me, that clicks something in my brain. It makes a light bulb go off. Like, okay, so using the keys of the kingdom while I'm in India, it means to use the power and authority of the kingdom. And that's just, after I finish this, that's where my study is going to go. But I want to finish this up for you all. So once again, if we scroll down to the bottom, we can see that Matthew, Luke, Revelation, and so I'm down at the very bottom of the page where the concordance results are. And below that, we can see that Revelation has 4 verses, Luke and Matthew. And once again, that means we don't need to go into the other search results on the main search because we know that's the same word. But let's go into the etymology and see what G2808 says. Cleo, I believe is probably how it's pronounced. Here's what's cool. So it means to shut up or to shut, right? So that's where obviously the next word comes from. So metaphorically, to cause heavens to withhold rain, to shut up compassion, so that it is like a thing inaccessible to one, to be devoid of pity towards one, to obstruct the entrance into the kingdom of heaven. And we know Christ used that. It's what the Luke references we used talking about people closing the way to heaven with the way they teach things. And so that's what we have from that. And so, like I said, I'm going to go on and study the power and authority of the Lord some more and more in depth. But this is one reason that I like to study the words. The Greek and the Hebrew, as we saw with this, there's different meanings to different words. And it can be a blessing to us to have those meanings. So I hope that this is a blessing to you. I want to do more in the future. If there's specific words you all want studied out, if there's specific things about studies, about other ways that I study, this is just one way that I study, or you want to see more videos like this, let me know. So yeah, I love you guys. I'll see you next time. God bless. Peace.